Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara and it is so nice to have you here. So I was like, I've never tried a vlog before and I'm actually really getting into it. So I'm like, you know what, let me try to start getting better at vlogging because I don't know, I just think it's more interesting in my opinion. It gives like variety to the video. But besides from that, I still kind of want to like touch on certain things that I just have been thinking about recently. And the latest thing that I was actually thinking about is, why is it so hard to be a Christian? Like, why people who believe in God, they always say that their trials, tribulations, their issues, like what's so hard about it? Like, I always thought that it was easy in a sense. Like, I never understood. I was like, all you have to do is believe in God and boom, like you're fine. But it's actually a lot deeper than that. Like, what makes it hard is the fact that I'm holding myself accountable to the choices that I'm making. In the past, I used to just make choices based on whatever I felt like doing. Like, if I felt like it was helping me, it didn't matter if it was hurting somebody else. It really didn't matter like what other people thought. Like, I only did what I wanted to do. And since I've kind of chosen this lifestyle where, okay, I'm going to try to not do what I want to do, but I want to do what I'm supposed to be doing according to God, what he put me on earth to do. And I'm like, wow, you know, I can't be selfish anymore. I was such a selfish person and I never wanted, like, no one wants to call themselves selfish, but at the end of the day, like, I was just living for myself, just thinking for myself. I would just do whatever I wanted. Like, I would say whatever I wanted without thinking about how it could hurt someone else's feelings. I would do whatever I wanted, like when it came to making plans with people, when it came to just doing whatever it was, like making certain choices. I don't know, I just felt like I just did whatever it was that I would come to mind that I wanted to do without taking into consideration how it could affect other people. And it's crazy because our actions do affect other people. That's just how it happens. So sorry, imagine, nah, it's not even I'm not even going out. Sometimes you just gotta get dressed to make yourself feel better, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I was just realizing that, wow, it's actually harder because before, when I made choices, I did it because I wanted to do it, whatever it was. I didn't think about what type of consequences came with the choices that I made, versus now when I make a choice, I feel like I'm so focused on what I'm doing, how it affects other people. Now, it's not in terms of like having to be obsessed with everything that you do, every single move you make. Oh my gosh, I have to calculate it down to the T. No, you could step back, take a breath, but it's just that now when I do make certain choices, I think about what the outcome could be, because at the end of the day, whatever you do, it's going to have a positive or negative effect on someone else, on yourself, on the future. Like, every single action that you make, oh my goodness, it's one of those things where you can fall into thinking like, what if I chose this, what if I chose that? But you can't really do that because at the end of the day, you're in this moment right now, moving forward. There's no way you can move backwards. So I've kind of just realized, okay, instead of thinking so hard about the choices I have made, like, it's good, everything in the past, that's fine, like I did what I did, but now when I do make choices, I kind of think, okay, what would Jesus do? Because I feel like Jesus, well, I know Jesus is the example on how we should try to come as close as we can to what he did, the life that he led. Like, we have to try to follow in his footsteps. He's the example of what a human being should do following God. So it's like, of course, I'll never be perfect, I'll never be able to walk as perfectly as Jesus did, but all the choices that I choose to make, like, I sit back and I think, okay, what would he do? Like, what should I do? What's the kindest thing, the most loving thing that I could do in this situation for somebody? So that's hard. I know it sounds easy, like, oh yeah, it's so easy to love, but it's really not, especially the people closest to you when they hurt you. Everybody has the choice. The same way you have the choice to believe if God is real or not is the same way that I have the choice to believe that God is real or not. I choose to believe that, and with that comes responsibility. Every time I'm making that choice, it's a responsibility that I'm holding, I'm carrying. I'm not trying to put pressure on myself, but it's like, wow, I'm choosing to live the way that God wants me to live. That's a choice that I make, and that's what's so beautiful. We all have our choices. We can all choose to do whatever we want. That's why I don't blame anybody. I don't look at someone and think, oh, why don't you choose this, why don't you choose that? Of course I would want someone to choose good, but you know, you have that choice to do it if you want to or not. And on earth there are consequences, and after earth there's supposed to be consequences. So it's just like, okay, let me try to make whatever choices can have a positive impact on people, because I don't want my, like, any decision that I've made to be in a selfish manner to hurt other people, you know what I mean? So it's not easy. It's just like really deciding not to do whatever it is that you want to do. And it's easy to choose to do whatever you want to do, but there are consequences that come with that. So it's like, okay, I'm choosing to do that. And by no means do I always choose right. Believe me, that's where the imperfection comes in. Like, I'm going to fall. Like, once you find God, how would I say this? Once you find God, it doesn't stop there. Like, you have to continue to follow him afterwards, if you choose, of course. So for me, it's like I found God and now I'm choosing to continue to follow him. And on that path, on that journey, there are times where I fall. There are times where I bruise myself, I hurt myself, I'm on the way, and things happen, you know, obstacles come in your way. But it's a matter of getting up, persevering, choosing every single day to continue to walk with God. And he promises that he's with you all the time. Like, he's not gonna abandon you. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna make this choice. Like, at this point, it's one of those ride or die situations. Like, God is my ride or die. Like, there's nowhere else to go for me. Once you find the truth, like, there's nowhere else to stray from that. And unfortunately, there's one truth. I wish I could tell people that, yeah, what you believe, whatever you believe in is true. There was a point in, there were actually multiple points in time where I kind of created my own faith, whatever, and I had to snap out of it and realize there's one truth. But once you figure it out, once you wholeheartedly accept it and you live it out, like, there's nowhere else to go. And it's just like, what else would I be doing? Who else would I be talking about? What else would I want to share with people? Like, this is it. So that's kind of me, like, trying to just share with you so that you can kind of not feel so alone, and maybe it could just spark an interest, if that, you know what I mean? I'm not here to force people to convert or anything. That's not my job. God doesn't force people. Like, that's why God, like, he wants you to turn to him, but it's up to you if you actually do choose to turn to him. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna be perfect or anything. Like, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to struggle. We're human beings. Like, that's just our nature. So yeah, that's kind of me, like, trying to figure out life and everything, trying to be good, trying to, you know, do everything. But I'm trying. That doesn't mean I succeed all the time, none of that. So it's just trial and error at this point, and I really hope that that kind of helps you in anything. So yes, it is hard to be Christian, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be fun along the way. You're not going to have good times. Like, I'm genuinely such a happy person. I'm so happy that I'm with God right now, and I just take into consideration that, yeah, it is harder to make choices based off of someone else's idea of what life should be like for me versus my own idea of what life should be like for me. But that's fine, because I didn't make myself. So it's just like, let me just go with the flow, you know, follow God, because he knows what's good. He knows what's good for me. He knows what's good for you. He just knows what's good. So it's just better to follow him, you know what I mean? Like, it takes a weight off my shoulder of everything. It might be hard to live out the life, but it takes a weight off my shoulder as to me not trying to figure out life on my own. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you liked my vlog. I don't know, we're gonna see if I could try to, like, make it more vloggy, but this was kind of like my first try. So I hope to see you guys on my next video, and if you like this video, you already know you could like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys on my next one. Okay, bye guys.